Welcome. You are listening to The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. It's 7:38 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas. Everything is going up because anything going down is crashing. The Culture Climate, where we cover controversial conversations that some are afraid to have in the village, focusing on the enemies, frenemies, as well as controversial topics, like I said before, that are going on all over the world in the village that are taboo in subject matter that some would rather we not talk about. But honey, we don't sugarcoat shit on the Sister Speak show. With that being said, the Sister Speak show network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. I want to welcome my first time listeners, and I want to welcome back my faithful listeners. You know what I love about y'all? Let me tell you what I love about y'all. That you all have been downloading so much that you got the Sister Speak show to 15K downloads. Hold up. So that's how y'all feeling. Y'all feeling these episodes. Y'all feeling the groove. I thank you so much for allowing me to be the flavor in your ear. And I thank you for always choosing to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak show. Check this out. Tonight's episode is real juicy. SHUGA, the demonic side of the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle. I know some of y'all were like, sugar. Is she talking about that booger sugar? Or is she talking about some of that sugar? Booger sugar is a part of some of these lifestyles now, but that's not what I'm focusing on. SHUGA, the demonic side of the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle. Oh yeah, we're going to get into it. I'm so excited about this episode. It's going to be epic. Brothers and sisters, I want to thank my faithful listeners once again. I want to thank you all, and I want to welcome my first-time listeners to the Sister Speak Show Network. You're going to need water and scuba gear. Water, that's your healing power, that's your gas. Your organs are made up of, your body's made up of 75 to 95% water. This is an intelligent listening podcast. I have an intelligent listening audience, very wise audience, I should say that, wise. And, we just keep everything rolling, everything grooving, and having its perfect way on the Sister Speak show. And you're going to need scuba gear, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, because we dive deep and we don't want you to get lost at sea. No villager left behind. This is a bold podcast. I believe in the Most High God and Yah. I know I'm a part of the 12 tribes of Israel, and I am about picking up litter and putting it in the garbage can. We don't do haters. We don't do Skeletors, Hagathas, Gargamels, Wartmongers. Come on, y'all. For those of y'all who used to watch the Smurfs, we just don't do that low vibrating energy. We don't do that negative energy. Okay, so we are warriors on this podcast. And if you're not a warrior, by the time you finish listening to these episodes, you're going to want to be one. It's about activating your power. Now, I know y'all hear this playlist in the background. This is, my nice little mix. You know what I'm saying? Just to provide the groove for tonight's episode. So we get into it. Brothers and sisters, I have some wonderful clips because they are for educational purposes only under the Fair Use Act of 1976, Copyright Act of 1976. This is just for educational purposes to raise awareness about the demonic side of the sugar baby lifestyle, because I believe that some of my sisters out here and some of my brothers out here have the game all twisted, and you're lost in the sauce and you're searching for something and you're getting it, but the way you're getting it is demonic. And there's a side that many don't see, that if they did see, they would probably think twice about it. There are the micro details and the macro details about this lifestyle. And I want my brothers and sisters to be able to vibrate high. I don't want my brothers and sisters to let the love of money lure them into some dark places and have you entering into places at your own risk. It is imperative that we really go through things and not stay in them. going through means that, okay, this is something that's not going to be a part of my life forever. And I'm not saying, yeah, go through this lifestyle, but I'm saying that there are some situations in our life that are orchestrated for us to learn lessons, for us to come out and become teachers, okay, for us to be delivered, for us to understand that the Most High God and Yah exists, that his power is strong, and into reaching even into those dark places, those crevices, those places where you think that he cannot reach, the places where you feel like, oh, I'm so far off into this lifestyle, I'm so deep into the trenches that there's no hope for me. No, 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 no. There's no hope for you if if it has not been predestined for you to come out of that. But if it's been predestined for you to come out of it, then there's hope. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I don't want anybody to ever think that this is a podcast where you're going to get cotton candy, a cotton candy covered brick. No, you're going to get a brick. We're not going to sugarcoat shit on here, because I don't like to see my sisters going down a lifestyle where they think, number one, that they're a Barbie doll. Okay. Number two, that they think they're a Kardashian. Number three, they think they're Beyonce. Number four, they think they're Marilyn Monroe. Number five, they feel entitled to certain things. And the entitlement is a carnal entitlement. It's not a royal priesthood entitlement. It's not a promise, a spiritual, inheritance. We're talking about some of our sisters have assimilated into Babylon, and they don't want to move. They want everything that this world offers, everything that society says. They want to look a certain way. They want to talk a certain way. They want to be a certain way, and it doesn't line up with who they're supposed to be. Now, some sisters, like I say, they come out of these lifestyles and they are a testimony and they're a teacher. But there are others who glorify it and horrify it. And we could say horrify it and horrify it. And there are men who are participating in these lifestyles who are married, who have high power positions, and who feel that this lifestyle is something that they need to participate in. And it's all about this money, right? Getting the money, getting the luxurious things, getting the time, getting the company, getting the sex, and overall compatibility is almost out of the window. Organized meetups, arrangements for services, time, and at the beginning of the day, is this supposed to be, is this who you were made to be, sister? How much TV have you been watching, reality TV? How much social media have you been engaging in to where you feel like, I want to look like her and have what she has, and I want that lifestyle because I'm a Barbie? That's, like I said, that's the number one problem with many of our sisters. You're not a fucking Barbie doll. I don't know who told you that shit, but they lied to you. You're not a Barbie. Get that shit out of your head, But if you're saying you're a Barbie, are you saying you're plastic? Are you saying you don't move? You paralysis? Barbie. And it's the Kardashian thing, as I aforementioned. It's the I want to be Kim. I want to be Kim. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm going to do everything that I can to be Kim Kardashian. I'm going to talk like her. And whatever Kim has, I want. And however Kim got it, I feel like that's the way I need to get it. And most women feel like the only way, some women feel like the only way that they can have these things is if they bust it open for a cost, glam themselves up, try to find them, a man of high status, high economic power, and have him spend his money on her because she feels like she deserves it. She feels like she has been put on this earth to be a spoiled girlfriend. And you can't help but just see how some of our sisters are acting like white women. I said it. Somebody has to say this shit. And I know I'm not the only one who says it, but some of our sisters, who are you? So anyway, the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle, we're going to focus on it tonight because there is a demonic side to it. And I want you to open your mind to listening. I don't want any of our sisters to go out here being anybody else than who they're supposed to be. And I want you to have the luxurious items if it's what you're supposed to have. I want you to have the riches if it's what you're supposed to have. Yeah, I want you to be blessed, but not blessed based on mess. I don't want you to be blessed based on stress. You know, I want you to actually have something because it was gained organically, naturally, without having to do the fuckery, without having to enter into a sexual energy to get what you want. And then to go on Instagram and floss that shit like, look at me. Okay, and we see you. And it's like, there are young girls who are attracted to what they see. The level of role models is far few and in between. And here you come on social media promoting a lifestyle that is dangerous, that is demented, that is demonic, and that fucks up a lot of homes. It fucks up your vibration, and it sets you back. We're going to get into it, the sugar baby lifestyle, the sugar daddy lifestyle. We're going to get into it. I thank you all for being a wonderful listening audience. I'm going to take a couple commercial breaks, and I'm going to be right back.
You just took playing That's My Car to a whole nother level. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Jackin' for more than beats. The effects of GTA and rap music. Confessin' to crimes over beats. Lyrics leading to arrest. On the tour, we're covering all aspects of the music industry, including interviews with musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, and exclusive music and concert reviews. Either you're playing the video game or the video game is playing you. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. This is your regular routine. What's different than any other day? You're not even thinking about the fact that there's pain behind the pleasure that you're seeking. The latest episode of Coming to the Stage on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, pornography, behind the scenes, the price of pleasure, contracting STDs, and quitting the industry. On Coming to the Stage, we're covering theater, TV, and film. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. There's a price to pay. Can you afford it? Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining, not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. Be encouraged.
Welcome back. You are listening to The Culture Climate. Tonight's episode, Sugar, the demonic side of the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle. I'm your host, Sister Speak. What's popping? What's happening? My brothers and sisters, now listen, I don't give any fucks about what anybody thinks when it comes to my assignment. I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm going to keep it pushing because I don't want to be famous. I'm going to be super successful. You're not my resource. You're not my source. So I'm going to say what I got to say because our sisters are in a trance. Our sisters are in a fucking state of paralysis, of mental paralysis, and they have forgotten who the fuck they are. And some of them are really off in this lifestyle, like carefree, very, very clueless, and are attracted to the riches in a wrong way and go about getting the riches in a wrong way. And there's nothing wrong with me saying that shit. The whole fucking caboodle is fucked off. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the aspects of it. And why do you, if you are a sugar baby, why do you feel entitled to these things? And are you honest about your encounters when you get your money, your purse, your trips, your furs, your diamonds, your lobster, which is nasty, whatever, your finer foods, you know, all these things that you're eating, you know, and all this stuff in your lips and your breast and your butt and all all of that, right? It's just like, are you going to be real about the showers you take, about the sugar daddies who turned out to be creepy, the ones who started stalking you, the ones who, because you wouldn't do something, withheld money from you, which fucked off your lifestyle? What will you do when the Most High God says, okay, expiration date coming soon? And what do you do when the expiration date comes for this fuckery that you're in? Because do you think that the Most High God is pleased with how you have chosen to go about obtaining which things that are not for you to have in that way? Do you think that he is pleased with your mentality of how you see men, how you see money, and how you see things? Do you think he is pleased with the fact that your confidence comes from a pseudo look? Just think about these things. And how are you going to deal with the after effect, the aftershock of the earthquake when he decides to completely dismantle your opportunities of being a sugar baby, a sugar daddy? I mean, just think about it. And then there are some women who actually floss on other women and try to make it look like these women need to step their game up and try to say you should not be fucking for free. That is what we would consider to be prostitution. And so to say, hey, God gave it to you, use it, it's just like, wait, God is not a pimp and I'm not a hoe. So there are some women who encourage other women to not be pure, to not be cautious, chastened, to not be, to be chastened, to be, but to rather be loose, and that like you are losing if you are fucking for free. Now, hear me. If you are period, if you're not celibate, you losing period. But to say that, oh, you should get paid for, you know, busting it wide open, it's just like, damn, how uncomfortable is that? How like when you've been delivered from being a Jezebel, when you've been delivered from certain demonic spirits, you can't fathom going back down that alley again. And some of us women, okay, know that we are no good in a Jezebel energy, and that we are proud, grateful of our work and no longer submitting ourselves to low vibrating sexual thoughts, deeds, actions, okay, and gain. So what we're trying to do and what we need to be doing is is reaching out to our little girls and saying, no, the sugar baby lifestyle ain't for you, little mama. That what you see right there, that is a mask. What you see right there, that's fiction. What you see right there, that's cheating. What you see right there, that is something that's going to make you have so many different demonic spirits inside of you, because it's a consecutive lifestyle. It's a lifestyle where you got to keep it going. Okay? Whether you're getting $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, or whatever, you have to keep this going. And what it does is it takes you away from desiring the natural things as a woman that you should desire. A husband, okay? Being a woman, a virtuous woman, having the fruits of the Spirit, having things come to you by way of miracle, by way of, okay, this is what you should have because you're ready to have it now. Some things that some of us have, we're not even ready for, and we fumble it every time because we're not ready for it. And I think a lot of times some people feel like, hey, I'm just going to pretend like God doesn't exist. I'm going to pretend like he's not watching. I'm going to pretend like there's no account that I'm going to have to give, and I'm going to get out here and I'm going to do what I want to do because it's my body, it's my life, it's my will. Okay. Danger zone. And you know, there are men out here who want to give up their cash, but they want to get that ass for that cash. You know, it is rare, I'm sure, to find a man who is blind and deaf, who's 1,000 years old, who just wants you to sit with him and keep him company. You know, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to say something or do something in order to get something. It's the law of reciprocity. You're going to have to give something up in order for you to get that cash, that bag, that trip, whatever it is you're seeking from this man. And let's just be honest. Y'all know y'all would not be linking up with these people if there were not money involved. Let's just be real. You see a sister, and then you see a white man who is damn near 70, and this sister looked like about maybe 28, and you know what the fuck is going on. This ain't no, oh, I fell in love with him. Nah, this is an arrangement. This is that lifestyle. And you have to go out in public and perform a service in order to get what you want. Who has time to have that energy? I'm serious. Like, for me, just me, Sister Speak, like, there's no way I'm letting a grown man who, you know, has a tattoo of the Underground Railroad trying to lay with me. I'm just, you know, like attraction, sexual chemistry, all of that stuff. Like, I want to naturally want you. I want you to naturally want me. I don't want to be forced into having to, you know, secrete in order to get some cash. I don't want to have to lay with somebody and be like, ooh, if this nigga don't get off of me. You know what I'm saying? Like when Celie was like, he just get on top of me and do his business. Like he just feel like he going to the toilet on me. Shit, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had men approach me, and it's just like, ma'am, sir. Sir, no thank you. I'm not interested. Like this, I don't do that, you know. And the reason why some of these men are so comfortable is because there are women out here who are on the under living a sugar baby lifestyle. And there are men living on the under living a sugar baby lifestyle. We're going to cover it today on The Culture Climate. I thank you all for being a wonderful listening audience. We're going to go ahead and get into part 1 of the demonic side of the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle. You all are a wonderful listening audience. Let me drink my Wawa. My Wawa. What the fuck is Wawa? My water. Ooh, that is delicious. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's get into it. I'm going to see you on the other side of these clips.
Men with money to burn are becoming a popular trend on college campuses nationwide and right here in the mountains.
Dozens of local students are members of an online dating website that hooks them up with so-called sugar daddies. News 13's Megan Sharing joins us with this special report. Megan?
Yeah, that's according to the website seekingarrangement.com. Wealthy men are shelling out big bucks for a date, and it's perfectly legal. And the co-ed we spoke with is using that money she gets to pay her tuition bills. Seekingarrangement.com. promotes itself as the world's largest network for sugar daddy and sugar baby relationships.
Introducing a new and innovative plan for college sugar babies that is sweeping the nation. The Sugar Daddy.
In other words, the dating website is a place for rich, generous men to meet young, attractive females.
He gives me $1,500 a month, so I can just, instead of trying to take out loans and stuff, just put that in towards my college, books.
This co-ed, who wants to remain anonymous, is a sophomore at the University of South Carolina.
It was literally out of boredom. I was like, all right, well, I'll sign up and just see where it goes.
She became a member after reading an article in a popular magazine.
I honestly thought I was just going to be on for a week, and then I was going to be like, yeah, this isn't working out.
But now she's in an exclusive arrangement with an older man.
It's just really beneficial that he's willing and generous enough to help me out with my school because, he's been there, he knows how it goes, and he just wants to make my life easier.
And being a sugar daddy's companion is something college students in the mountains and upstate are also wanting to get paid for.
Arrangement really is it's like a relationship.
Jennifer Gwynn with SeekingArrangement.com says co-eds from UNCA, Western Carolina, App State, and Clemson have all created profiles.
In general, this year worldwide, we have just about 1 million profiles that are college students.
Local authorities say mutual beneficial relationships like this are considered legal as long as the women are providing services other than sex.
I don't know if you have an answer to those people who think this may be borderline prostitution.
I mean, the difference between this being illegal and not is it's not an expectation. It's an aspiration for sure, but it's never a requirement. I mean, all relationships, usually the end goal is to have sex. This is just more of a non-traditional approach to that.
Do you put your man friend in this category as a sugar daddy?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, he's an older guy that I'm seeing that I get along with great and would be seeing regardless.
She lied. She's lying. There is no way that you would have a regular relationship with this man if it were not a financial arrangement involved. If that's the case, then you tell him to hold off on that $1,500. You don't want it anymore because you are in love with this man. And that even if this website didn't exist, that you would still mess with him. This man has probably been in World War I and II. And I highly doubt that you would be going for your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's friend. Yeah, I mean, listen to how they try to make it sound like it's really great. Yeah, so what we do is we provide this, it's more about compatibility than anything else. At the beginning of the day, the end goal for all relationships is to have sex, right? Yeah. So what we're just doing is it's not required, but if it happens, it happens. So, I just need to be able to, get through college, pay my tuition, and not have to struggle. And these men, they want to help us. And we don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
SeekingArrangement.com says they screen every single profile and they work hard to make sure that people aren't using the site inappropriately. And Tammy and Larry, just in case you're wondering, some members on this site have found love. President and CEO of Seeking Arrangement, Brandon Wade, just married his sugar baby.
Some of these men, if you've ever seen Poltergeist, I'm talking about the first Poltergeist, the one that made you sleep with the lights on for a year, that one, the one that probably made you sleep in the bed with your parents, even though you were 22. No, seriously. But in Poltergeist, there is this old ass man. He's supposed to be a preacher, and he's scary as fuck. He looks scary as fuck. wouldn't want to cross him ever. And he leans into the screen door and he keeps saying, Carolyn, Carolyn. And it's just like the scariest shit ever. And some of these men look like that guy. And they said they're screening these applicants.
Finding love isn't the easiest, and lately more and more are now turning to online dating for help finding the one.
That's right, but not everyone is looking for a love connection. As ABC 2 News' Catherine Holly reports tonight, sometimes it's about companionship and cash.
Yeah, it's called sugar dating, and it's not for everyone. Websites like Seeking Arrangement pair up older men and women called sugar daddies and mamas with younger sugar babies. So is it a relationship or a business deal? We looked into it to find out. SeekingArrangement.com launched in 2006 and now boasts 3.6 million members. Thousands of these wealthy men and younger women live right here in the Baltimore area. According to the website, there are close to 12,000 sugar babies and nearly 4,000 sugar daddies within 50 miles of the Charm City. She didn't want to reveal her identity, but this 22-year-old woman is one of them.
At a monthly allowance, it was $3,000. And I had gifts also, just whenever he wanted to buy me stuff, he liked to do that.
She had an arrangement with a 50-year-old benefactor for close to 6 months. She says they were open and honest about their expectations. He gave her cash in exchange for companionship. And yes, eventually sex.
Someone to be with, a girlfriend per se, but he really wasn't trying to get married. So that's basically was my role, his girlfriend.
The site says the arrangements are mutually beneficial and a shortcut to dating, whether the sugar babies are looking for a boyfriend, a mentor, or a sponsor. They average around 26, while the wealthy daddies are closer to 42 years old.
Wait, hold up, stop. Wait. 42-year-olds? Hold up. Switched up the whole game on me. So the average age for the sugar baby is 26. The average age for the sugar daddy is 42. So you 42-year-olds are out here tricking? Wait a minute. Y'all out here giving up y'all money like that on these sites? Let me find out. Wow. And she said, I was getting $3,000 a month. I was getting gifts whenever he felt like giving them. My role was the girlfriend, and eventually it led to sex. She didn't sound too happy about that. She didn't sound like, ooh, yeah, this is just what it is. This is a great lifestyle. $3,000 a month. 42-year-old average. The man she was seeing was 50. Okay, all right.
They're all relationships and all people building connections. No one is being like paid for their time or paid for any service. There's no being paid. It's dating someone who is willing to support you. And it's something that a lot of women are looking for.
Isn't when you are like dating somebody who's willing to support you, that is really crucial, because I think we all want to be with somebody who supports us, and we want to support somebody. That's the balance. You know, it's just that the way that you have to go about getting the support. Listen to this. It's the way that they're going about getting the support, but you still have to, you're still doing these things, but you know you're getting support, like it's paid support. Like, it's just too much fucking confusion. And the sad thing is, like, we should be able to support one another in our relationships, in our fellowships, right? In a high vibration. So I'm not mad at wanting somebody to support you. I am not condoning the way that you're going about getting support. I'm not.
Jasmine tells us she was tired of being a broke college student and put most of the money she got away in savings for grad school. According to Seeking Arrangement, about 56% of the sugar babies in the area are college students, with at least 184 attending Howard College, 166 at Towson. The University of Maryland has 163, and about 102 sugar babies attend Johns Hopkins. This sugar baby's only advice is to be careful and make sure you're comfortable with what you agree to.
I think anyone who goes into this knows what they're getting into, and they're fine with it.
And critics of the site say it's basically a form of prostitution or a call girl service. Jasmine doesn't agree with that comparison, and neither do officials with SeekingArrangement.com. The site does not allow the exchange of money for sex, and they recommend users take advantage of the background checks they offer before meeting up. Catherine Hawley, ABC 2 News.
Slaughter in the death of a Google executive on a yacht in California has just pleaded not guilty. And after her plea, the judge sent Alex Tickleman back behind bars. Not only is she accused in the heroin death of Forrest Timothy Hayes, a married father of 5, but investigators are also looking into whether she's involved in the death of an Atlanta nightclub owner. Dean Riopel dated Alex. He played in a band known for its sexually explicit lyrics and fetish themes. He died at his home several months ago, just 2 months before the Google executive. Alex, the alleged prostitute, was there at the time. One of Riopel's former bandmates told CNN affiliate KRON that his friend would never use heroin or any other drugs. He suspected that something much more sinister is at play.
There's no way that guy did heroin. No freaking way. She got him drunk and he's probably sleeping, and she probably dosed him up and he freaking died. And he was no way in shape or form any kind of user of heroin or drugs or anything.
And Kyung La is live in Santa Cruz, California. Kyung, really a spectacular case. What happened in court?
Well, she entered the not guilty plea, as you mentioned, Deb. She also requested that she be released on her own recognizance. That was denied. She asked that her bail be reduced. It is currently at $1.5 million. That was denied, so she was taken back into custody. Through most of this arraignment, she was extremely quiet. She didn't say anything. Her eyes were pointed at the ground. Her family was there, her parents and a woman who appeared to be her sister. These are very serious charges: felony manslaughter, drug possession, and prostitution. Police say that she is the one who gave 51-year-old Forrest Hayes that lethal dose of heroin, and instead of calling 911 as he was suffering, instead allowed him to die at her feet. Now, police also say that she was a call girl in Silicon Valley and that she met her clients and Hayes through a controversial website. And according to the website itself, they have millions of users.
Tonight, Sugar Shock. Sugar babies selling companionship in exchange for the sweet life. But at what price?
I do think that there's going to be an emotional toll taken on this because it's a secret.
The outrageous lifestyle comes with some serious consequences.
It's a popular website linking young women with wealthy older men.
But the life of luxury, cars, trips, even college tuition comes with a price. Melanie Michael joins us live to explain the pitfalls that may come with sugar baby status.
Hey guys, good evening to you both. Yeah, tonight we are digging deeper into this world of wealth where cash is king in the quest for companionship. But are sugar babies being left with not so sweet scars?
You have to do what you have to do to get ahead, so, just make it happen.
When we first met this sugar baby, who we'll call Jenny, she dished on details of the so-called sweet life.
It is a sense of freedom because if I do want to get up and just do something, I have the means to do it.
Jenny's sugar status on SeekingArrangement.com delivered a debt-free life. Her college education at USF paid for, all $100,000 of it. But what's the shelf life on luxury living where sugar daddies foot the bills and sugar babies bag the benefits?
You're on call for somebody else.
Dr. Day Sheridan is a USF professor and a board-certified clinical sexologist. The sugar life, she says, comes with consequences and can leave scars behind.
So I think it's going to be very difficult for someone to say, well, this is an equitable relationship. It's give and take. No, you're on call and you're going to be the one who there's an expectation for you to provide that service when that person who's paying you for the service is asking for it.
In fact, according to Dr. Sheridan, these college co-eds may love the quick cash, but the young ladies lose in the long run. Self-esteem and self-worth. Economics over emotion? It's never that simple.
I do think that there's going to be an emotional toll taken on this because it's a secret.
A secret based in sugar goes sour real quick, says Dr. Sheridan, since the relationship is often hush-hush. 8 on Your Side talked with one young lady from Florida State who learned her sugar daddy was married with children.
It's a secret. So how long do you participate in something that you can't tell your family about or that you're not proud of? That chips away at you.
So tonight we are left with the question, what does the company think about all this? Well, they tout the website as a place where men and women can meet for a mutually beneficial relationship. I'd like to hear what you think about all this. You can go to my Facebook page, WFLA Melanie Michael. And
This man charged with manslaughter tonight. Detectives say his gun accidentally went off, killing the father of a Florida State University football star. Michelle Casada with new details tonight on the unfortunate accident at Sugar D's.
Employees here at Sugar D's are calling this an all-around tragedy. Over the weekend, they lost Daryl Rudolph, who they considered to be family. The man who deputies say was moving a gun that accidentally fired is also a part owner of the club. 36-year-old Paul Senat, a part owner of Sugar D's, a dog club in West Palm Beach, is now behind bars facing a charge of negligent manslaughter for the death of a coworker. On Friday, detectives say Senat was moving a gun off a shelf when the gun went off. The bullet struck 55-year-old Daryl Rudolph, who was making repairs in another room.
He was in the office and Paul was in the liquor room from what I was told. It's 2 separate rooms. You can't see. There's a door blocked in the way of a big wall.
Rudolph died from his injuries Saturday. Bar manager Sean Kahn described Daryl and Paul as friends.
That's his own, like he considers his family, and like the whole thing is just messed up.
Kahn told me Paul took care of his employees. He described him as a man dedicated to his businesses. A state database shows he owns several, including a tax return preparation business in Lake Worth.
A lot of people look up to him too.
And Kahn said everyone loved Daryl. His coworkers say he always talked about his star athlete's son, FSU football player Travis Rudolph.
I just can't believe something like this would even happen. Just the process of it. It's just mind-blowing.
Senat is expected to appear in court tomorrow morning. Reporting in West Palm Beach, Michelle Casada, WPTV News Channel 5.
Reed and Marie, very common. In fact, here at UNLV, they rank in the top 10 for sugar babies using sugar daddies to pay for their college tuition. And sadly, these relationships, as we've seen here in Las Vegas, can turn deadly. Dr. Thomas Burchard murdered his alleged sugar baby, Kelsey Turner, accused in his bloody death. According to the website Seeking Arrangement, the University of Las Vegas ranks 8 for having the most students registered on the site. A site that murdered University of Utah student Mackenzie Lewick was part of, a site based here in Las Vegas.
He helps me with rent in school because he knows I have financial struggles.
A woman we'll call Candy for her safety. She says she met her sugar daddy in person, not on a site. She says their relationship is platonic, the lines are clearly drawn. But that's not always the case. We spoke with another woman who didn't want to be identified.
He paid me $350 a visit.
She says it may not be talked about, but it is common.
Sometimes sex was involved and sometimes it wasn't.
She says her safety with one sugar daddy became a concern.
He turned into a stalker.
Candy says she tried creating an online sugar baby profile to help with her bills, but was immediately concerned about her safety.
Last summer, I think I made an account just to check it out, but all of them wanted to meet up, and I didn't have any conversations with all of them. It's just all their bios to meet up, and I was like, nope, so I deleted my account.
But as I mentioned, here in Las Vegas, very prevalent. In fact, 48,000 users registered right here in our city. Reporting live tonight from UNLV, I'm Heather Mills.
I'm a gentleman. She's touched everything in my house but my
Well, apparently that angered this Naples man enough to point weapons at an escort that he hired. Now 71-year-old Joshua Lewin is facing 2 aggravated assault charges after asking her for a refund because she wasn't, quote, rendering services for the man she met on a sugar daddy site.
He told NBC2's Nestor Montoya he messed up, but only because he was scared that she was targeting him.
Exactly, and Lewin was looking for love in all the wrong places. He met this escort on an adult site, but says the night didn't end like he'd hoped. In fact, things turned violent, leaving the woman bruised and bloodied. The 71-year-old thought she was taking advantage of him and even planning something sinister.
I called an escort service and ended up selecting her because of her ad, the way that she looked, particularly her smile. I kind of want to be seduced, okay? I mean, yeah.
But his plans...
This is the part where the word gross, throw up, excuse me, vomit, regurgitation, barf, ugh, disgusting. Like, listen, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just keeping it 100. Like, I have no ability to seduce a 71-year-old man. Not a lick. There's not an ounce of ability in me. I don't know. There's not an era I could reach back into. I don't have an 1800 spirit in me, an 1880, an 1895 spirit in me. I don't even have a 1900 spirit in me. There is nothing I would be able to do for you, sir, to seduce you. How? What with fossils? What do I seduce you with? With ginger ale? Some absorbing junior? What are we doing here? Some Geritol. How am I supposed to seduce you? And he's like, she touched everything but my dick. like pass out, like disgusting, like, sir. Like, nobody wants to do that. This is what I'm talking about. I am having a hot flash thinking about the pressure to go to someone's house. You're there to get money, but they're expecting for you to touch their dick, and they're 71 or older, or just whatever. It doesn't even matter. Like, really, like, the age is just like, if I'm going to do that, it's because I want to do that, because I'm with you. Like, we are together. Like, I'm not just, like, that lifestyle is the demonic side of it. Listen to the demonic side of it. There is something that you have to give up. And, and then they be like, you want me to what? Kiss you in your mouth? I'm just saying, like, this is the side that you have to listen to, because that pressure is a motherfucker to perform.
For passion,
well, needless to say, that never happened.
Ended in peril.
Certainly afraid of being beaten up and having my house robbed.
Joshua Lewin says he negotiated to pay his escort $400 after she was dropped off by a friend. He says his companion was getting too comfortable, avoiding and stalling.
I'm getting a little apprehensive here, okay? There's something that is not right, okay? I mean, no sex, has been putting everything off. She's touched everything in my house but my...
Lewin decided to call it quits, asking for half his money back, but says what he did next was spurred by his own fear.
But I pulled my gun, okay, because I don't know what's coming back into the room.
Lewin says he never planned to shoot. After putting the gun down, he picked up a knife and demanded she refund him and leave. The escort called 911 and reported she...
Gun, knife. Now, it could have gone any kind of way. He could have held her against her will. There could have been other men in the house. You don't know what the fuck you're walking into. It's an enter at your risk situation. You don't know these men. These men don't know you. They have the upper hand. They have the upper hand because you want the cash. You need the cash. And if you're not giving up the ass, it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be a problem. You're thinking you're going to go over there and finesse him out of the $400 with your mouthpiece. Excuse me. And he really want to know what that mouth do. He wants you to put your mouth on him because that was the agreement. And so it's when you try to come over and finesse, shouldn't be going there anyway, but you're going over there. Excuse me. The enemy don't want me to get this out. I'm going to get this out. And you're going over there and you're trying to finesse him out that money. And, you know, you feeling like your stall tactic or whatever is going to get you the money and you can get up out of there. He's older gentleman and you thinking that you can, you know, push him to the ground or whatever and make a dash. Robbing old folks and making a dash. She did the job. Money came with ease, but she couldn't stop. It's like she had a disease. She robbed another and another and a sister and a brother. She tried to rob a cop who was a GT undercover. It's real shit. And this man had a knife and a gun. He could have done so much damage to her in his adrenaline, in his rage. It's really a dangerous game. Now, it's dangerous standing on the streets. It's dangerous going to the hotel. It's dangerous going to their house. It's dangerous getting on the website. Period. $400? You giving up ass for $400? And I'm not saying that you should give up ass for $400,000. I'm just saying, like, damn, $400. You putting a price on it. It's a commodity. Pussy is a commodity. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? It is a commodity when people use it in a low vibrating energy that they would actually detach it from themselves and say, this is my LLC. That's fucked up, right? That some sisters believe, some women believe that this right here is what makes the world go round. This sells. And I can also finesse somebody out their cash because I'm good like that. I'm sexy like that. I'm a bad bitch like that. My mama taught me well. These streets taught me well. I could make a nigga give me his cash without having to give up the ass. That's not a true story. That's not a true story. That's not a fucking true story. You know why? Because we're listening to these news clips. That's why.
Been assaulted by Lewin, which he denies. Deputies soon arrived, arresting him, and the ordeal now serving as a lesson for Lewin.
Whatever you do, don't put yourself in a position where you could end up spending a night in jail.
Whatever you do, stop paying for pussy. Stop paying for pussy. That is the lesson. Whatever you do, don't put yourself in a position where you're in a jail. No, stop paying for pussy. Stop being pressed for pussy. Stop thinking that, oh, I just gotta have sex. I just gotta have sex. I just gotta get some ass. That's the problem. Too many people are pressed for pussy. Too many people are pressed for cash. Too many people are pressed for companionship. Too many people are pressed for things and will go about it in the worst way, in a demonic way to gain it. What the fuck you mean? Why are y'all giving up y'all cash for ass? Then you got to go and take all these fucking pills to get your penis hard. Some of y'all penises won't get hard if you put cement on it. Your dick is done. Dunzo. Okay? When you start ejaculating dust, it's time to say, you know what? I need to put my penis back up, and I need to focus on some other aspects of my life to enhance myself. And then maybe once you focus on those other things, maybe you'll get your erection back. Maybe you'll be able to attract somebody in your age group, you know, who wants to be with you, who can tolerate seeing a 71-year-old penis. Just saying. Like if I'm in my 70s, I'll be able to relate to what a 71-year-old, what a penis, a man in his 70s, penis looks like. Like, okay, you're 70, I'm 70. This is what my vagina looks like. This is what you look like. Okay, I can relate because we're older and we can accept one another for our, as we're aging. right? I'm not saying that older people who are married should not still be engaging in some form of sexual intimacy, you know. But I'm also saying, like, I am personally, it's not my ministry to look at a 71-year-old penis. And you need to say to yourself, why is this pressing on me so much to where I am creating a profile, where I am willing to enter at my own risk and go into this world of lava and walk away with $400? And what is your end goal? Like, how much are you trying to collect? Is this $400 a day? Like, what is this? And when does it stop? And how do you say to yourself, I'm willing to lose it all just to have more? Only to find out that there is no more. It's only depletion.
And Collier, deputies seized Lewin's gun. He's expected back in court later this month. And he tells me spending a night in jail was enough to make him learn his lesson. I'm live in the studio tonight. Nestor Montoya, NBC2.
A crime alert at 11 for all parents. Here's the quote. I'm looking for someone to be my sugar baby, and I'm ready to spoil you with my money. That's the offer a stranger sent to a 10-year-old girl on Snapchat. A Gwinnett County mother found the conversation on her daughter's phone.
She's now warning other parents to keep tabs on who their children talk to. CBS 46's Sierra Cummings spoke exclusively with the mother about the unsettling discovery.
This mom realizes 10 years old may be too young for an app like Snapchat, but considering the pandemic and remote learning, she says her child and the other kids at the school have been relying on it for communication. She said she ended up chatting with the man requesting to be her sugar daddy.
You can tell by the way it's worded that it wasn't another kid playing a joke or anything like that. It is grown man talk.
Teresa asked that we not share her full name, but she wants to share the full story after finding these messages on her daughter's Snapchat.
Somebody trying to lure a child with money to perform sexual acts.
The user wrote, I'm looking for a sugar baby, and I'm ready to spoil you and pay you allowance. Then, you just have to keep me busy and make me happy. Since Snapchat has her name and birthday, Teresa's daughter first assumed the new user was someone she knew from campus. The family now wants Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office to investigate what they believe was a targeted attempt at trafficking a child.
She could have easily fell victim, you know, like any other kid or any kid could look at that and see dollar signs and be like, hey, you know? But thank God that my daughter doesn't think like that.
Teresa is encouraging parents to check phones. The GBI is too.
I always recommend if your child has Snapchat, then I believe you should have Snapchat. Follow your child, know how the application works.
In a recent interview, the agency confirmed with more predators at home and online, child exploitation tips exceeded 11,000, with more than 300 cyber suspects arrested this past year. In Gwinnett, Sierra Cummings, CBS 46 News.
And see, I'm going to have to say this. I'm going to take a commercial break. I got 2 more parts for you guys that are very interesting. I'm grateful that my parents kept me a little girl. They really did not allow me to get past my age. They put me in a position to enjoy each phase of my life. And for the most part, I am extremely concerned about the lack of parenting and the lack of nosiness that parents display. where a child can be occupied with all of these electronics to the point to where everybody's in their own world because everybody has a phone, a tablet, and they're just doing their own thing, captivated by, social media, especially children. Most of these platforms are catered for children. The adults just happen to be along for the ride. And not along for the ride per se in a stranger danger, I'm an advocate, I'm Mama Bear, I'm Papa Bear, I'm going to make sure that I'm protecting my child. No, everybody is really just doing their own thing. I don't give a fuck what you did not have growing up. I don't give a fuck what you feel like you missed out on and now you want to be best friends with your children. That's not how this shit goes, and you're going to be held accountable for it, because when you have that mentality, other people have to encounter your children and your lack of parenting. And when they're let loose into the world, it's chaos and fuckery. And then they grow up to be chaotic and engage in fuckery. And it is our duties to watch these children and to restrict them from certain apps that, although they look like cartoons and although they look like they are PG-13 friendly, in fact, they're not. And some of them are nothing but bait for your child. And there are predators, online predators, that are tech savvy, that know how to disguise themselves to the best of their ability and know how to lure children in, boys and girls, no matter the age. Okay? And because our children are not as wise as they should be, and because parents are not as wise as they should be, the vulnerabilities are at an all-time high. And the accessibility to your children is at an all-time high. It is your duty to say no. I don't give a fuck if they cry, pout, or have a tantrum. This is your house, correct? You run the house, right? You pay the bills. That does not mean that they don't have a voice. It does not mean that they are not a human. It does not mean that they don't have rights. But there is a system that is set in place to where you're the adult and they are the child, and not vice versa. So trying to give in to children's every whim, every desire, every want is not good parenting. That shit backfires. Children need to know boundaries. They need to know time and place. They need to understand seasons. And your child is not missing out on anything if they don't participate in some of these applications that are on the phone. I don't give a fuck what their friends got going on. If their friends are going to think that they're lame, they're square, they're this, that they're square, that they're whack, that they're this, that they're that, I don't give a fuck. We're not here for all of that energy. We're here for protecting the village in totality from pedophiles, from predators, from principalities. There's a lot of work to be done. And throwing a tablet, throwing a phone, giving them, these electronics and giving in after they beg and plead with snot coming out of their nose, you're defeating the purpose of why God placed you above your children in that capacity. Doesn't mean you're the Most High God, but you have been given an assignment as the parent. And if you are allowing your children to get on these platforms, you are leaving them susceptible to the online predators who know how to disguise themselves as teenagers. Some of you think some of the shit that your children do is so cute, and it's like, no, this shit ain't cute. Your child is too fucking grown. Too grown. That shit ain't hot. The level of growth and maturity that I see even in 2-year-olds is disturbing. It ain't cute. I don't give a fuck what you're doing for the gram. I don't give a fuck if you're trying to go viral. I don't give a fuck. you're off. And your children are off. I believe that outside and playing is a good thing. I believe that a child should have a balance when it comes to what you believe they should have as far as entertainment is concerned. But as long as there are people willing to bait your children in, you need to have a will that is stronger than theirs to say, you may not have this. You know, you may not log on to this. No, you can't. No, you may not. If you're going to have a tablet for your child, if you're going to have a phone for your child, you need to take the time out to go through your settings and through whatever search engine and make sure there are safety features in place, parental locks in place to keep your child from being lured by the dark ones who want to do nothing but to sexualize and to be perverted towards your children. Money talks, and there's not a person on this earth that don't know what money do. Try to give a baby $1 and try to get that dollar out that baby, saying baby's got a tight grip. People know what that dollar does. And you're telling me that as a child, you want to be my sugar daddy and you want to give me some money and I'm in high school and I already can't work and my mom and dad may not be getting... Come on, man. It is a play on your child's vulnerabilities, and it is your job to teach and to build up a fort, to fortify your home with an allegiance to protecting what's inside. I'm serious about this. Some of your children don't even need a phone all the time. I believe phones are good because, hey, danger, being able to get in touch with mom and dad, there are definitely reasons why a child should have a form of communication, but you have to be particular in the form of communication and how much access they have on it. Some of you are buying your children $1,500 phones and they're in the 3rd grade. That shit don't make no fucking sense to me. It never will. That's dumb as shit. Some of your children got an iPhone, a nose phone, a foot phone, an elbow phone. You just keep buying them phones because you don't want to fill in the time, all the time, some of you, to parent. And you're letting the phone take your place. The phone is the nanny. The tablet is the nanny. Too grown, too fucking fast. Too grown, too fast, and who is to be held responsible for that? What are you allowing your children access to? My parents did not allow me to have access to many things, and I wanted them. But in hindsight, I didn't need it, and I'm now able to enjoy things because I go through phases when I'm supposed to go through them. Some of your children right now have been approached by an online predator, a sugar daddy, and they never told you. Some of them are interacting right now with a sugar daddy and you have no fucking idea. Some of you have made the communication so fucked up in the home that this is why. Some of you have even modeled this type of sugar baby energy to your daughters and they want to be just like you. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. The latest episode of The Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. On this episode, can you take the heat? The origin of the comedy roast. Do some jokes go too far? Plus, naturally funny Desi Banks And on tour again, must-see comedians. On the Laugh Line, we are covering all aspects of comedy for all shades of brown people. You will not be disappointed. This episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to what? Podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link in the bio for this episode. It's time to get lit, laugh, learn, and live. What's the point of putting on a bonnet if it's not going to stay on my head? I'm tired of it slipping off and waking up to it the next day. There has to be a better bonnet for me that's stylish and stays on. Oh, child. Ooh, it's the pillow for me. I'm just going to have to sleep pretty. This last shift took me all the way out. I'm going to get a bonnet tomorrow. I can't wait. I'm going to ask Mommy if I can get one for my bear, too. Just as soon as I wake up from my nap. It's time to sleep pretty and protected with these stylish Mommy and Me bonnets available now at kklachey.com. These Mommy and Me bonnets are available in stock and ready for you to maintain your crown. KK Lachey is a look, feel, and vibe. You're able to shop these products and more when you go to the website. It's time to shop and chill with kklachey.com. There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of The Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. There are some gender reveals that reveal more than just the gender. They can reveal the agenda of a predator. The latest episode of The Suspense Files is available on demand now. The insanity that rocks the cradle. The pregnancy predator. On The Suspense Files, we're covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Rated R for strong content, thoughts, and ideas. You know what, y'all? It would help if I would actually turn my mic on. I'm over here just yapping, and I look and I'm like, paused. Anyway, welcome back. You're listening to SHUGA, the demonic side of the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle on the culture climate. I am your hostess to speak. Listen. It would only be right if we heard from the owner of this website. Now, I know there's a lot of websites out there, but this particular website is getting a lot of press. So we're going to keep pressing. I want you all to just to listen to the owner of this website. And then after that, I've got another clip. And then we're going to get into it, and we're going to get out of it. And we're going to let y'all go. And I'm going to be back later on this week with some more wonderful episodes for you all. Okay, so this is obviously for fair use under the Fair Use Act of 1976 to raise awareness, to educate my brothers and sisters about the demonic side of the sugar baby, sugar daddy lifestyle.
The founder of the website Seeking Arrangement is Brandon Wade, and he joins us this morning alongside Emma Gamma, who is, well, it says here, an experienced sugar baby. You recently divorced your sugar daddy.
I'm in the process. Yeah.
Okay.
You're in the process of going through that.
Okay. Brandon,
Yes.
Seeking arrangement, it's mainly presumably about older, rich men looking for younger women, is it?
There's also older, wealthy women looking for younger men as well.
What's the difference in proportions?
Well, there's more men, obviously, but that's because of society. I think we just have a society where men tend to be more successful.
Is it actually a dating
It really
website?
is. And actually, it's a concept invented by my mother. I mean, my mom was the one who told me that, when I was young and I was shy and I never had a girlfriend, she was the one who told me, just study hard, focus on your school. One day you'll be successful, you'll be generous, and all the women would flock to you.
Okay, how come, if it's a dating website, 40% of the men on it are married?
Well, married men, a lot of them are lonely, and they want to date as well. And as you know, there are websites out there that cater to married men. And in fact, on normal dating websites, there are lots of married men lying and pretending to be single people dating.
Brandon, you're saying the idea was inspired by your mum, and she was the one who said focus on your work, and then the women will come to you. What does she make of the fact that you promote the idea of being a sugar daddy? You've been one yourself, and that actually perhaps the relationship you had wasn't built on the foundations of love and trust, as we'd like to believe all relationships should be, but actually was more to do with you had a girl that really loved the fact that you had a massive bank balance.
Well, I would say all dating sites and all dating, in fact, is very superficial in the beginning. It's all about looks. It's all about how much money you have in your wallet. But any long-term relationship has to be based on trust as well as love. So without those things, in the long run, the relationships fall apart, right?
How can it be based on trust if 40% of the men are married?
Well, that's the thing about seeking arrangement. The site itself promotes honesty. So you have to be brutally honest about what you want, what you can offer, and your current status.
Do the men have to be honest with their wives that they're on the site?
Ideally, the answer is yes, because otherwise it would be considered cheating.
Okay, let's talk to Emma then, because Emma, you're a sugar baby, so you're going through the process of divorcing your sugar daddy.
Yeah.
As Brandon's saying, it's all about ultimately being honest and having trust and love. But your relationship with your sugar daddy, how long did that last?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
But for some reason it's failing now. Will you be more nervous about finding another sugar daddy, or once this divorce is through, or are you already looking for another one?
No, I'm already looking.
You're already looking for...
Yeah.
And what is it specifically about having a sugar daddy? Why aren't you trying to find somebody who you can love and trust without just because they've got all the gifts and they can shower you with all this lavish...
So, for me, I didn't go out to fall in love with an older man. I met him when I was 21, and I was just lucky enough that he was in a good place. He'd worked hard for what he had, and it was love.
Are you in... I mean, people will be asking...
Yeah.
Are you in it specifically for the money?
I think for me, for going on seeking arrangement, I've always dated older men anyway. So for me, it's not so much the money. It's, I guess I always like to date older men. So for me, it's just if you're successful and you're older, then great.
You could presumably find someone like that on another dating website. You just change your parameters to include older guys.
I could, but I like how upfront you can be with it and what you expect.
Do you like how explicit it is that this guy is going to have a lot of money, he's going to shower me with lots of money, and he's going to shower me lots of presents and lots of gifts?
Well, doesn't everybody? Wouldn't every woman like that?
I wonder, though, Brandon, when you talk, we're talking honestly about the fact that, these are very wealthy men. Some of them may be cheating on their wives. They're offering primarily money. It sounds like a financial transaction. There's a certain expectation involved in that transaction. Is it an escort service?
Well, the answer is absolutely not. And you keep focusing on the married men aspect of it. You have forgotten that...
Well, it's almost half of the male members of the
60% are single as well. But that goes to show one thing, that a lot of people who are married are very unhappy. And most men, unfortunately, cheat. And that's a fact. But why cheat when you can be completely upfront and honest?
Well, we have had a statement from the End Violence Against Women campaign, and they say the key problem with these websites is they trivialise relationships or connections which may turn out to be exploitative and harmful to usually younger women and some young men as well. How do you respond to that?
I would say if you're desperate and if you're in that sort of a situation, don't join the website. You're in no position to be negotiating a relationship at that point. In order to join the website, you need to understand what you have to offer, what you want in a relationship, and be in a position of strength. And that's why I say most sugar babies who join the site are empowered. They know exactly what they want, they have goals, and they're out there to achieve them.
But there is that worry, though, isn't it? A vulnerable young girl who could go onto the site because it sounds really glamorous and really lovely could get into a relationship where she's being exploited and being controlled by somebody, and then could get stuck, and it could become harmful, like they're suggesting.
It could, but I think you could have that in any relationship that you're in. That could become harmful. You know, you're putting yourself out there when you're on any dating website. So I would say this one is just like the rest of them, only that you know what you want.
First of all, shower me with honesty, loyalty, high vibrating energy, great communication. Shower me with those things. Like I said, when you're in a high vibrating relationship, you know, things come. I find it to be disappointing that married men are on these websites. You absolutely have no business being on these websites, participating in any of this adulterous, any adulterous activity. Brandon pointed out, he said that, well, you know, this just goes to show that most men are not happy in their marriage. No, this goes to show that most men have not done the healing work that they need to do in order to vibrate high. It goes to show that most men like to try to find an easy cop-out instead of actually doing the work. Let's not play this game. I will never give a man a crutch or validate a reason why he goes out and does something like that. It destroys so much, and it leaves a trail of devastation. I think it is absolutely manipulative and demonic for any married man to say, I'm going to give another woman what my wife wants. I'm going to show another woman that I know how to be a great guy, but I won't show my wife the great guy that I can be. I have enough energy to do this masquerading outside of the home, but I have nothing to give inside of the home to fix this. You're showing that you have the energy to go out and do something, but you don't know how to redirect it into the home and fix it. And if you have children there, that just makes everything even more complicated. And you have enough energy to try to keep your lifestyle separate, but it all comes with a cost. And it is, you know, you're giving your money away to another woman. And you're giving your money away in exchange for sex because allegedly you're not happy at home. No, you're not happy inside. You've got a lot of enemies that are attacking and feeling as if a website is the panacea, the remedy is just a lie. It's an illusion. And for another man to create a website for men to come on and allegedly remedy whatever's wrong at home is just really, it's so low vibrating. It's really disgusting. And then for your mom to say like, hey, just work hard, get your money, and you'll be able to pay for pussy. You'll be able to pay for a girlfriend. Don't worry about it. Thanks, Mom. Great advice. You know, it's just like some advice should not be given. And it's just a level of deceit at this point. I think that some men have literally fooled themselves into believing that they're not the problem. And, you know, it's not me, it's her. I'm not happy she's not giving me this pornographic sex that I'm looking for. Well, you know, it's just like sometimes you're putting pressure on a woman to be who she's not. And I have always, well, not have always, but I have matured into saying that a man that loves me is not going to ask me to do shit that's fucked up. That's not going to ask me to defile myself, ask me to put myself in a low vibrating energy. He's not going to suggest disgusting sexual things for us to do. He's not going to demand me to be his whore. He's not going to be on that level. So we are talking about a low vibrating energy. This website is for the flesh. It is for pleasure seeking. It is for desires that are not righteous. This next clip, and it's the final clip, is about... sorry, y'all. Hold on, y'all. This next clip, like I said, it's the final clip, is just for you to hear the air in this woman's head, in the heads, actually, of these two women. I just want you to just listen to the air. Just listen to the air in the head, and how this woman believes that she cannot be in any other lifestyle but the sugar baby lifestyle. I want you just to listen to the air in her head. This goes back to the "you're not a fucking Barbie" comment I made earlier.
I built a sugar baby coach and lifestyle influencer empire. My lifestyle now is very flashy, very lit. I will not step out the house unless I'm 100% on point. I spend up to $5,000 a month on beauty maintenance. Today I'm meeting a client that I've been coaching online so that she can potentially live this lifestyle as well. I created the ultimate playbook for sugar baby success. This was a gift from a boo for my birthday that just passed Monday. This bag is about $26.50. I love YSL. Can't go wrong with Louis Vuitton, classic. Then we have my Chanel boy bag. I am a international sugar baby coach, lifestyle influencer, and entrepreneur. I actually own 5 companies now. My main one being Dash Beauty Factory, Dash Sugar Baby World. That's how you guys see me on the internet all the time. The key to being a successful sugar baby is keeping the power. It's always a way to make a man feel dominant and still be in control. People made lots of assumptions about me as a sugar baby because they think that my life is 100% funded by men, and that's definitely not the case. I was a sugar baby at 18. It was a lot of things that I didn't know that I wish I would have known. So I want to be sure that I'm a voice for those girls. But in retrospect, it's all about knowing your value, building confidence, and I wanted to use everything that I've been through to make other people's situations a lot better. Okay, so here we have my $10,000 wig collection. One thing I like to be sure when I'm telling my sugar babies is that the wigs that you wear, hairstyles you wear matter. Personally, if I'm dating a more mature man or a more valuable man, I'm only wearing wigs like this black, blonde, red. I will not step out the house unless I'm 100% on point. I spend around $2,500 to $3,000 a month to maintain this look. So my lifestyle now is very flashy, very lit. The way we spend money now is just crazy. Random store trips, like Versace trips or Bottega trips, which is nothing. Spending $1,000 on shoes. So I purchased my Porsche, and it was around $55,000. Everything over the top, like nothing mediocre. Hey girl, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm so good. It's so good to finally see you. Okay, the dress. It's giving, the shoes, they're giving. Today I'm meeting a client that I've been coaching online so that she can potentially live this lifestyle as well. I want you to meet my makeup artist, JoJo.
Hi. How are you, beautiful? I'm good. How are you?
People have to understand that the beauty maintenance as a sugar baby is of utmost importance.
So today, Deja is going to get something really smooth, really sultry, really sexy, but still giving glam at the same time.
Me being able to build a sugar baby empire is like really crazy to me because back in college, like my coach found out about me being a sugar baby and made it this big thing, and I felt really, really shameful of it. So the fact that I've been able to use what I've been through or what I was once shameful of to turn it into something major and show other girls how to live their best life, that's the biggest accomplishment I feel like I've made with my empire.
I chose Dash to be my coach because her spirit and her energy was just so magnetic. I found her on YouTube and she was just always full of life. I chose to be a spoiled girlfriend over doing anything else because I just know that I add value to whoever life I enter, especially a man that I'm in a relationship with. So it just makes perfect sense for me to be a spoiled girlfriend.
So with Deja specifically, wasn't so much as confidence and looking the part. It was recognizing what she deserved and how valuable she was as a person and how she should be treated in a relationship versus the relationships that she had already been in. When you start to eat nice things, buy nice things, and you get so accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle, it's really hard to go back to like the norm, you know? Yes! My first Cyber Sugar Baby ebook, I made over $15,000 in the first 2 months of sales, and it's only $17, so you do the math. Having the status that I have here in Atlanta is being able to call owners of clubs and just have private time with my girls. My biggest piece of advice for you is to just stay confident. Keep your standards high, like your standards are some of the highest standards of all sugar babies, spoiled girlfriends that I've ever worked with, and I don't think you need to minimize it at all. I think today went amazing. Deja is literally one of my biggest success stories. That's all I ever dreamt of, to help someone else be a better version of themselves. So the next level for my lifestyle is wifey. I want to be a stay-at-home wife who runs, 7-figure businesses from my home office. I've built my platform based on helping women build their confidence to become their best self. It's way deeper than just being a sugar baby. You can't be timid. You have to be fearless. You have to speak up about what you want, what you need, and what it takes to be with a woman like you.
What the fuck did we just listen to? I told you, just listen to the air. This is the part where it's going to get even more real. Listen, half of you sisters, some who are attracted to this type of fuckery. Real shit, if y'all didn't have them weaves, most of y'all wouldn't even be in this lifestyle. And that's real shit. If there were not bundles and lace fronts, you would not, half of y'all wouldn't even be in this shit at all. Let's start with that. A lot of the confidence that is being exuded comes from these fucking weaves and these wigs. Straight like that. It is a crucial part of the outfit. And you heard her. These are my $10,000 wigs and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, I wonder if you all would be able to get the men that you get if you were to wear your natural hair. Could you present yourself in front of these $1 million men in your natural hair state? That's my first question. Because we know that if it weren't for these bundles and these glues and lace fronts and all of that, that a lot of you sisters would be nicer and humble, modest, balanced, be able to properly identify yourself, would be more dedicated to the village. That's just real talk. That Barbie mentality is a disease. It is plaguing so many of our sisters. Because I have seen our sisters without the weaves, and we're not talking about, okay, I'm not going to wear a weave, I'm transitioning into just really, wearing my natural hair. I'm talking about when you're in between hairstyles and you got to rock your hair just to let it breathe. That's a long 6 weeks. And some of you sisters, as I have said before, you're really nice. A lot nicer. With this entire lifestyle, I don't know what the fuck the problem is with our sisters who feel like that they have reached a level of status when they gain these luxurious items and have a sense of, it's like they speak with arrogance and vanity. And doing whatever you have to do in order to get more money, whether it's enhancing your body, getting plastic surgery, all of this just to get more money so you can keep up with the Kardashians and any other Dashian that you see on social media. Let's just be real, sisters. The pictures that you see on Instagram, the posts and the reels and the stories and the lives, you want it. Some of you. You want that lifestyle. You feel like that should be you. And you feel like the only way that you can obtain that, and I don't even know why you would want to just necessarily obtain all of that, is by going the route of let me find me a rich man. And let me find me a rich white man. A rich white man who has a fantasy of being with a black woman. It's a deal for a deal. And I am going to take this white man's money. I'm going to give him my conversation, my looks, and all this other type of stuff, my body, my time, so I can have a Birkin bag, a Chanel bag, a YSL bag, so I can get shopping trips and this and the third. It's just like, look, sister, you're missing out on developing your character. Look, sister, you were not put on this earth to be a whore, to whore your body out, to whore your time out. To put yourself in a fantasy world for somebody and get paid to be somebody's fantasy monthly. And then some of the men who you're engaged with are married men. So this is like more spiritual crimes. And the fact that you can't see yourself going back to any other way of living, oh shit, you better get ready. I hope you saved. I hope you saved. Our sisters, some of them want to be European. They want to be white. Your look, your way you speak, the way that, and I'm not talking about, oh, she's trying to talk white. You know what I'm talking about. You want to be this European fantasy and you're a sister. And you want to live a European lifestyle, but you're a sister. It's like you're forsaking spiritual riches for worldly riches. And the riches that come from the spirit realm, that come from the Most High God, He doesn't ask you to bust it wide open. He doesn't ask you to look like a white woman. He doesn't ask you to lower your vibrations and allow these energies to come. He does not do that. The blessings that you want, the wealth that you want, there's nothing wrong with wanting wealth. There's something wrong with how you're going about getting it. And in a normal circumstances, these two people would never, ever come together. And you have to ask yourself, well, why would the enemy have these websites out here? What is the objective of this that we're not seeing? Because all we're seeing is the material. But we're not seeing the demonic side. There are stories that are horrific that have not made the news. There are girls who have gone missing going on a sugar baby date. There are men who have murdered their sugar babies so the sugar baby would not tell the wife. Brothers, men, if you are concerned about your wife and your children finding out and your family and losing all of what you gained, then why are you doing it? Why is it now, after busting a nut, after tricking off your dollars, after engaging in all kind of risky activity, why now? Because she wants more. And because you don't want to be found out. You know it's wrong because you wouldn't even be sneaking if you didn't know it was wrong. You wouldn't have to go to the levels that you go through. Some of you white men are dealing with sisters, and some of these sisters are your sugar babies. And your white wife will, oh my gosh, she'll probably fall the fuck out if she found out that you've been giving $3,000 a month to Keisha Jenkins. I don't want I don't want my sisters, younger sisters, middle-aged sisters, or older sisters to get caught up in what the fuck you see. What you got, what you have, what you have, when you have obtained it in a natural way, when the Most High God just blesses you, that's security. You can sleep. You don't have to slide down the shower wall. You don't have to wipe skeet off your face. You don't have to let a nasty old man or, a nasty energy hug on you and feel on you. Being a part of a royal priesthood means that there are certain things that are your inheritance. But until you do the work, until you convert, until you renew your mind, until you transform, yeah, you're going to be in what you feel is lack. But sometimes there's a reason why you have less than, but it's really more than. Some shit you really can't handle. And when you get it, look at how you act. This sister teaches, this female teaches other sisters, other females, how to be sugar babies. I'm going to teach you how to be like me, how to lower your vibration, how to expose yourself, how to fandangle, manipulate, how to be a spoiled girlfriend. I'm going to teach you how to forsake your identity, and I'm going to show you the uniform that is required for you to be this. And I made money off of it. You do the math. I tried to do the math. The shit didn't add up to me. It doesn't add up to me. You have a book out there teaching young girls how to forsake being a virtuous woman, how to forsake being a virgin, how to forsake being wise in their decision making, how to forsake time and seasons, how to have her forfeit righteous judgment, and how to enter into a lifestyle where you're whoring for the devil. Literally, spiritually, figuratively. How financial gain can only be obtained through this rapid lifestyle, risky lifestyle. But we're going to make it look like we're classy, even though we're bending over our assy. Even though we're doing things to satisfy this man. Oh, he just wants to talk and he pays me $10,000 a month just to talk. About fucking what? Oh no, he just pays me $10,000 just to sit next to him. And that's it. Our sisters have drifted away from the village. Some of our sisters want to be the it girl, the pretty one, the one who has it all, the rich one, the one with the foreign whip, the nice clothes, the labels, the luxury, the food, the access to the excess. Want to get paid for fucking. Don't want to fuck for free. $15 million different excuses as to why. But at the beginning of the day, as a woman, you have to decide if you want to be one or if you want to be a female. If you want to actually put yourself in a position to where you could be exposed to more sexual suggestions and influences. If you want to walk away from why you're put on this earth. If you want to forsake your gifts, your talents, your skills. If you want to eliminate yourself from having a true divine mate. Walking away from healing. Not really tapping in as to why am I here? What led me to why I'm in this lifestyle? Why am I attracted to this lifestyle? Why am I attracted to the finer things in life in a low vibrating energy? Why do I do the things that I do in order to have the name brand things? Why do I look like this? Why am I spending so much money to look opposite of how I am or how I was created to be? There's nothing wrong with grooming. There's nothing wrong with hygiene. There's nothing wrong with looking good, feeling good. But there is something wrong with a false identity. There is something wrong with masquerading and trying to contort, origami, all kind of pretzel, really, your appearance to get more money. What do you do with your money? Some invest, some splurge. Some say that I'm taking this to pay off this and to get this and all of these things. I understand that we all have to have financial security. I am not dumbing down financial security at all. I understand that we should be able to live and leisure, not lack. We all understand what a struggle is, most of us. Many people can testify to how they began and to where they are and how they got there legitimately with the struggle to gain the strength and the wisdom and the character and the integrity. Remembering when and never wanting to go back there again. We all understand that this is the energy that's needed in this world. Nobody wants to be without money. Nobody. There's not one person in this world that does not need money. We all want to be able to have overflow, access to whatever we want, when we want it. To not have to live in a layaway payment arrangement life. To have to go from paycheck to paycheck. Excuse me. From relief program to relief program. From asking, could you help me out with, or this, that, and the third, having to apply for loans. We all, if we could be honest, want to have financial security, to be debt free, to make sure that everything is secure. Financial structure. Things cost. Items cost. And some items that we want, have a hefty price. And that's where that negotiation comes in. That's where the, I want it now. How can I get it now? What can I do to have it right now? And that's where you begin to contemplate. And there are those who say, you know what, although I want it now, although I feel like I need it now, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let this harvest manifest. I'm going to toil the soil. I'm going to let the Lord give me what I'm supposed to have. I'm going to write the vision down. I have desires. I know he's going to bless me if my desires are lined up with the predestination. And I'm just going to wait. I'm going to have works with my faith. I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to actually just be still while working, and I'm going to let my life play out how it's supposed to be. So when I get to the promises and I receive these blessings in my ladder, I have the wisdom to maintain it. I have the wisdom not to exploit it. I have the wisdom not to dangle it in front of somebody's face and say, if you give me this, then I'll give you this. You know, I won't be arrogant. I'll be mindful of those in need. I will be able to vibrate because I am learning lessons in order to have luxurious items, to have overflow. Then there are those who say, I want it now. I'm going to get it now. I'm going to do what I got to do to get it. I don't give a fuck how I get it. I don't care who I have to hurt. I want it. And that's what I'm going to do. And then they go about it in the wrong way. Sex for money is the wrong way. Manipulation, adultery, and all of that. Everything leads to these websites where you can meet somebody who is just like you, unhealed, in the I don't give a fuck attitude. Being able to communicate to a sugar baby how you don't like your wife and how your wife doesn't make you happy is so fucking disrespectful, because it's like you can spend the time to talk to this broad about your problems, but you can't take the time to talk to your wife. That's demonic. That's really sad. So many women have no idea that their men are out here tricking off money in relationships, just doing the least when they really think they're doing the most. This woman said, I could teach girls how to live their best life. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're teaching women how to be Jezebels. I'll be right back after this commercial break. You've made it to the last part of the test, the season of drought, and you survived. You're going to pass this test. You're going to climb the mountain, because on the other side of the mountain is peace, joy, tranquility, harmony, freedom. No longer are you going to have to be frustrated, wondering when is it going to happen? When is my breakthrough going to come? When is what I believe in going to manifest? How long do I have to sit here in hermit mode? How long do I have to sit here and pretend? Not much longer. You might as well go ahead and start getting your praise on now, because permanent overflow is coming. You're closer to it than you think. Slingshot season. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. Spiritual warfare is real, and it is slingshot season. That's right. You are prepared for this. It is time for you to defeat the bears, the lions, and the giants in your life. You are stronger than what you think, and when you are chosen, you are anointed. No longer can you operate in the spirit of fear, and no longer can your boundaries be attacked. Carnal weapons produce carnal results. Spiritual weapons produce spiritual results. Get your smooth stones and your slingshot ready, because being victorious and more than a conqueror is a part of your lineage. Because our cousin David was about that life. Your enemy's plans are deterred, decapitated, and destroyed. Be encouraged. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is Sister Speak with the word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged. Welcome back. You're listening to The Culture Climate. I'm your host, Sister Speak. I had to take a break, y'all, because our village is in trouble when it comes to money. Our village is in a lot of trouble when it comes to money, and that we're in trouble when it comes to obtaining things that we're not supposed to have yet and going about it in the wrong way. I want my brothers and my sisters to understand this. Our village, it's a wonderful village, but it's in trouble. It's in trouble. And the SHUGA, no money, no honey. It's amazing how so many people have literally forsaken, advocating for themselves. You advocate for yourself by saying, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I am going to come out of this energy. You can come out of the sugar baby energy, the sugar daddy energy. Some will, some won't. Excuse me. You know that I'm not going to sit here and say all will, but there are women who will come out of this lifestyle, who will say, you know what? I don't need to do this anymore. And who'll be able to come back and teach about this and teach the dangers and the perils and how to avoid going down that route. My prayer is that my brothers and sisters really get to permanent overflow, and that you are activated in your purpose and your passions to where you don't have to subject yourself to thinking that sex is the only way for you to get your money, that sex is the only way, that paying somebody is the only way that you can have companionship, the only way that you can have sex, and we have to stop looking for a quick way out when we're having trouble at home. We have to stop looking for a quick way out when we're having trouble in our daily life. And that does not mean that you should not be looking for a solution, but if the solution is for you to bust it wide open or for you to really compromise yourself, then that's not a solution. That's pollution. And you need to know the difference. You need to know the difference. I'm so serious about this shit. So serious. Brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I thank you all for being a wonderful listening audience, listening to this episode of The Culture Climate, where we are covering controversial conversations about what's going on in the village, focusing on the enemies, the frenemies, taboo conversations. I thank you all. Hear what I'm saying and be encouraged. Be a warrior. Now, I do want to say this. I want to encourage you who is listening right now that there is an opportunity for you. If you have been chosen, there's an opportunity for you to vibrate higher out of your understanding about money, about sex, and about obtaining riches, okay? I want you to understand that if you have been in this lifestyle, that you do have an opportunity to walk away and cleanse I don't want whatever you have gone through as a child to hinder you from making high vibrating decisions about yourself. You have to give an account for yourself. You literally have to give an account for yourself. And you cannot live in this life saying, oh well, to your decisions and oh well to outcomes. You cannot spend time in a sneaky energy, a manipulative, deceptive energy where you are auditioning for the expiration date, because it's coming. The expiration date comes. It comes when you least expect it, and you get warnings before it comes. When you buy food, there is a time frame on there for when you can consume it and eat it. When you can consume it. How long you have to store it. What is the shelf life? It has an expiration date. You were warned when you purchased it that it had an expiration date. And it's coming. And it says best used by. It tells you. And so if you then use the item after the date it has expired, that item is no good. It has no value. It needs to be thrown out. There is an expiration date coming if you are in that lifestyle, and that lifestyle will be thrown out. And there's nothing you can do to get it back. You won't be able to chase the garbage truck. You won't be able to go to the landfill when the Most High God and Yah steps in and says, no daughter, no son, this is not what I wrote for you. This has been allowed, but this is not going to be your lifestyle any longer. You went through this for a reason. You had to experience this for whatever reason. But no daughter, no son, I don't want you to be this. This is not you. And so because you're having trouble walking away from this lifestyle, although you've had warnings, and warnings, now I'm going to have to elevate this and bring this expiration date to your doorstep in a way that you'll know that it's me at the door. And you can't keep me from coming in, because I am the door. I am the way, the truth, and the light. No man come unto the Father but by the Son. And I love you enough, daughter. I love you enough. I am all power, and I'm able to fix anything inside of you that is broken. I love you, son. I'm able to fix anything inside of you that's broken. But this right here, you can't do anymore. So I'm going to orchestrate your expiration date. I'm going to show you that this is not what I had planned for you. I'm going to show you that when you don't heal, you are vulnerable and susceptible to demonic activity and demonic decisions and demonic people. That the love of money is the root of all evil, and you are at the bottom of the root. There is a root inside of you, and that root is evil, and I have come to remove the root. Consider this to be a spiritual root canal. The cavity has grown. It is beyond repair. I need to get to the canal so I can get to the root and fix it, because the infection is spreading. Yes, this is not only the expiration date, but this is a dentist appointment. I need to get inside of there and get that together for you. And I know you're tired. I know you're weary. I know that you want out, but you are caught up in a cycle, and you don't know how to escape. I am the great escape. I'm able to deliver anyone from anything at any time. Nothing can stop me. I have all power. I can definitely orchestrate anything I want to at any time I want to rescue my son or my daughter from himself or herself. And I will do it. Check my resume. I fail not. I lie not. And when I step in, I move everything around. I get inside and I make you clean inside. I don't leave a speck. I don't leave a spot. Dust, what is dust? I have the all cleansing power. My blood did it. Golgotha sealed it. The resurrection proclaimed it. I sit on the right hand of my Father, interceding on your behalf because you need interceding. Don't you ever think that you don't. And this allotment of grace, this allotment of mercy is running out. Now, my mercy is everlasting. And yes, my truth endureth to all generations. But I'm not a fool, and I'm not to be played. I've got things I need you to do. I've got places I need you to go. I've got people I need you to speak to. And I put an assignment inside of you, and you need to fulfill it. My word does not come back to me void. And neither will my creation. Not my chosen one. Not my created, not my converted one. I own it all. Everything belongs to me. I'm able to give you what you want. But I will give you what you want based on what I know you need. And not the other way around. You think you need these things. You think that this is what you're supposed to have. You think you're supposed to look like this. But I have encouraged you all in the Proverbs for you to lean not to your own understanding, but to in all thine ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your path. Because that sugar baby lifestyle, that sugar daddy lifestyle is not your path. That's not your path. That's not the valley. That's not the valley. The valley I need you to get into is where you will say, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. I'm trying to get you to the valley, the real valley, not the desert. I want you out of the desert, and I need you in the valley. I need you to stop always thinking about sex. Your sexual energy is sending up an alarm to the kingdom, to the ancestors, to the angels. You're out of control, and we need to get you back into control. And we need to teach you that self-control is your guide, your friend. We need you to understand that it's not about your crew. It's not about all of that. It's about what's going on inside of you. And I care enough to say that I'm coming to your door with an expiration date. And there's nothing you can do about it. You'll never go back into that lifestyle again. You will be so sick of that energy that you will never backslide into the lifestyle of being a sugar baby and a sugar daddy. If you're not happy, it's something that's not happening inside of you, and it's called the healing. It's called submission. Men must submit to. You must submit to. The only way anyone will ever be able to be delivered is you have to be accessible for the help. In your pit, you need to let out a horrible cry. in your horrible pit, you need to lift up your eyes and you need to cry out for help. First step is admitting that you're in a pit. And when you are not paying attention to your walk and your steps and your surroundings, it's easy to fall into a pit, a snare, a trap, to be attacked, ambushed, killed. For the love of money? You're bankrupt on the inside, but you are balling on the outside. What the fuck? You pay, so basically you're playing basketball barefoot on concrete. But you're balling though. You're taking a picture by a Rolls Royce, but inside of you is a covered wagon. Inside of you, no transmission, no brakes, no alternator, no battery, no steering wheel, no tires, no axle, no brakes, no nothing. But you're by this Bentley, but your own, the inside of you, the mechanics inside of you, there's just everything is fucked up. Excuse me, y'all. Empty on the inside. No wealth. No overflow, no prosperity. Nothing that really matters. Just filth and fuckery for the funds. And you don't get funds without being fun. And you got to be a certain type of fun to get the funds being in that lifestyle. There's an expiration date coming. And that's going to be the best day of one of the best days of your life. The relief, the great relief. You're going to be relieved that the expiration date came and that it was orchestrated in the way it was because you did not know how to get out. Brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I thank you so much for being a wonderful listening audience. You mean a lot to me. Thank you once again for helping getting me to 15K. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's get to 25K, okay? Let's get to 25K. Please share with your people who you know appreciate this type of content, commentary, this type of podcast. Share the Sister Speak Show with them. I thank you so much, brothers and sisters, okay? Thank you.